The Memory Architect. In the year 2037, memories had become commodities. Nemocorp, a towering neurotech empire, offered the elite a chance to rewrite their pasts, erase trauma, reshape identity, even forget love. The procedure was called Deep Reconstruction, and it promised relief. But it came with a warning: memory doesn't lie. People do. Eli Navarro, a 28-year-old architect with a quiet demeanor and haunted eyes, entered the Nemocorp facility in downtown Seattle. He had been suffering from vivid dreams, black water rising around him, a woman's voice echoing his name, and clocks ticking backward. None of it made sense. He had never drowned. He didn't know the woman. But the dreams felt more real than his waking life. Dr. Lyra Voss, the company's lead neuropsychologist, studied him carefully. She saw the signs: fractured memory, displaced emotion, subconscious resistance. Eli was a perfect candidate. She offered him the dive. The procedure began in a sterile room, where Eli was strapped into a reclining chair. Electrodes mapped his neural pathways. The lights dimmed. A low hum filled the air. And then, he was no longer in the lab. He stood in a city that defied logic. The buildings were warped versions of his own designs, structures he had drawn but never built. The streets were silent. Every passerby wore a porcelain mask. Above, the sky pulsed with violet light, as if the atmosphere itself remembered something he didn't. A woman appeared. Her mask was cracked. She whispered his name. "You promised to forget," she said. "But I didn't." Eli recoiled, but the city didn't let him go. It shifted around him, revealing fragments of a life he couldn't recall. A rooftop. A scream. A fall. He awoke in the lab, drenched in sweat. Dr. Voss didn't flinch. She handed him a file, restricted, sealed until now. Inside was a blueprint signed EN 2029. It was a design for a building that didn't exist. Yet Eli remembered every line. The truth unraveled quickly. Ava. That was her name. She had been his wife. 6 years ago, she died, fell from the rooftop of a building he designed. The official report called it an accident. But Eli had suffered a psychotic break. He blamed himself. He begged Nemocorp to erase her from his mind. And they did. But memory is not a file. It's architecture. And Eli, the architect, had rebuilt her, unconsciously, through dreams, through designs, through the masked city of his subconscious. "You didn't forget," Voss said. "You reconstructed. You're the first to do it instinctively." Now Nemocorp offered him a final choice: full identity erasure. A clean slate. No pain. No guilt. No Ava. He stared at the screen. Erase identity, blinked in red. He didn't press it. 1 year later, Eli opened a studio called Memory Architecture. He helped clients design buildings based on their deepest memories, structures that told stories only they could understand. On the wall of his office hung a painting, a woman in a cracked mask, standing on a rooftop beneath a violet sky. She watched him. And he remembered.